Welcome, I am Joe. These are movies that fucked me up. I'm going back to Jack Ketchum, and it is for the 2007 movie, The Girl Next Door, directed by Gregory Wilson. There was another movie, An American Crime, that was released a year later, and both of these movies were based on the 1989 book written by Jack Ketchum. Not so much of a fun fact, but a fact. The inspiration that Jack Ketchum took for his book was the real-life murder of Sylvia Likens. So what is this movie about? Well, it is not a rom-com starring Elijah Cuthbert. And it is not a feel-good movie. It was compared to a Rockwell painting with an Eli Roth movie. So that should kind of give you the idea how fucked up this movie was. The story takes place back in the 60s. And even though the movie was shot in 2007, it did have this 1980s feel to it. And y'all know that the 80s movies were pretty fucked up. When the movie starts, you have like all these feel-good feelings until all of a sudden it is not. Meg and Susan lose their parents in a car accident and are sent to live with their Aunt Ruth, played by Blanche Baker. Let me tell you something. Aunt Ruth is a fucking bitch. This is one of the most horriblest person I have ever seen. I don't care if those are not the right words. That's what I'm going to use to describe her. She was a bitch. Fuck that. She was a cunt. Fun fact, during one of Aunt Ruth's rants, she says that she was going to move to Haddonfield. I wish the bitch would have. That way, Michael could have gotten her. Anyways, Aunt Ruth is a horrible parent. Look, I'm gonna sound like a parent now because I am. But this woman was giving children beer and cigarettes, telling them stories about sex and dancers and creep shit. I mean, this woman was fucked up. And the fact that these kids kept coming over, like, didn't they have anywhere else that they could have gone? Look, let's get to why you are here. 4 movies that fucked me up. You're gonna need a shot for this.
We go to check this shit out. I look up in the tree, and there's the fucking king of the jungle.
Listen, she was a cunt. Well, first off, truth be told, I found this movie by accident. I was flipping through the guide back then when people had cable, and I saw The Girl Next Door, and I actually thought it was Elisha's movie. So I put it on to watch. I kind of started realizing it wasn't, but it started out so cute. You know, it felt like this little coming of age story. You know, the boy next door falling in love with the girl next door. You're seeing all these sweet little things that just kind of don't prepare you for what's coming your way. And then once it gets there, yeah, I kept watching. You know me. I mean, this is why you're watching these shows. I kept watching. And the shit just kept getting worse. What starts out as just really horrible ways that Aunt Ruth was talking to Meg, calling her a whore and all that. And basically, she spanked her sister in retaliation for Meg slapping one of her boys. Well, Meg decided to talk to the cops, and the cops showed up. And from there, Aunt Ruth went, I don't know, this bitch went nuts. She decided that she was gonna then tie Meg up in the basement. And then when she did, she allowed her boys to cut the clothes off of her so she can be there like buck naked. I mean, these kids had to have been from ages maybe 8 to 14. What started out with just her kids and David from next door, then turned into other neighborhood kids, including girls, coming in and punching and kicking her, just treating her like a punching bag. Meg was cut. Meg was burned with cigarettes. I mean, she was put through a lot of torture from these kids and Aunt Ruth. And as if it could not get any worse, because she was like beaten to a pulp. She's then had a whole bunch of other kids show up so she can sit there and watch her son rape Meg. Ugh, I really hate this woman. Like, I myself just wanted to jump into the movie and kick even the kids, kick everyone's ass for what was going on. But anyways, after the rape, she thought it was not enough. She still had to humiliate her even more. She then took her Zippo. I mean, this bitch was constantly smoking and drinking, but she took her Zippo and a bobby pin. She would then heat up the bobby pin, and she basically scarred, I don't know what, burned into Meg's stomach. I fuck me, telling her that she would never get married. No one's gonna love her because of what's on her chest. It was disgusting. I mean, and like the fact that this actually happened is even more disturbing. And if that was not bad, just one more thing I'm not going to fully go into detail on, but I'm just going to say it involved a handheld blowtorch and a third world butchery of women. So I was not liking David for a little while there, the fact that he did not get involved. And then when he finally decided to get involved, he ended up killing Aunt Ruth. But by then it was too late. But still, this movie, like I said, I watched it all. There was a reason I have not gone back to it when I decided to do the show and compromised it. This has been moving down for a couple of seasons. So I decided I finally had to watch it. And I kind of remember it now. It's horrible. And I kind of want to read the book. I know that's fucked up, but I'm just now kind of curious on the book. I didn't know about the whole true life stuff until after I had finished the movie, because again, I thought it was a rom-com that I was going to watch. So when I finished and I looked it up, to make your stomach turn just a little more, the real woman who did this, her and her children got convicted. It got overturned. Then they got convicted again. And then she got paroled. She got to live out her life after she did this to Sylvia Likens. And I had kind of wished when I looked it up that David did kill the woman in real life. I know I'm not, that's kind of evil, but she might have deserved it. The movie is streaming on Plex and Tubi. So if you want to check it out, go ahead. I think the New York Times had written that this is the kind of movie where you want to pour bleach onto your brain and wash out and not try to remember. So check it out. So until next time, ta-ta for now.
Did you ever use any hot irons on her?
No. Yeah, that 3 in her stomach, I did half of that, and Shirley Ann did the other half.
Where'd the S come from?
What do you mean?
There's a big S branded on her stomach. That's one of her breasts.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's what you're talking about.